All right, so today we're going to do Module 7, Lesson 1. This is the second day of graphing systems of equations. On day 1, you already learned how to do all of these concepts. So today is going to be a good review day to help you with your assignment, which in the 2025 school year is on ALEKS. So for question number 1, you have y equals 2x minus 3 and y equals negative x plus 3. We have to solve these systems by graphing them. So we're going to have to graph each of these lines. So I like to do just 2 different colors to keep track of my lines, but you don't have to. It's just something that I like to do. So I'm going to go the first line I'm going to do in red. The second one I'll do in blue. So for that first line, you need to start with the y-intercept, which if you remember, we have y equals mx plus b. B is always going to be your y-intercept. So whatever number's at the end is your y-intercept. So for my red line, I need to start it at negative 3 on the y. So it's going to be right there. And then your slope is always going to be the m. So the number right in front of your x, which in this case is 2. So remember, slope tells you rise over run. So if it's not a fraction, you have to change it to a fraction. So 2 as a fraction is going to be 2 over 1. So then you have to go from the point you started at up 2 over to the right 1. And you keep doing that. Up 2 to the right 1. And once you have those points, you can go ahead and connect them. I like to do at least 3 points, but if you can only fit 2, that's fine as well, because it'll just make your line straighter. And once you get your points, draw your line. Big thing to remember is make sure that line extends across your whole entire graph. All right, you can pause the video at this point and try to do the second one if you want. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, so if you are waiting for me to do it, I am going to start that. So your y-intercept here, instead of negative 3, is positive 3. So we're going to start my blue line at positive 3. And then your slope here, this is where some people can get confused. It's just negative x. So remember, if it's just an x, there's a 1 in front of it. So your slope is really negative 1. And negative 1 is not a fraction. So you have to change it to a fraction. So it's going to be negative 1 over 1. So from that blue dot, you're going to have to go, because it's negative, down 1 to the right 1. Down 1 to the right 1. And I keep going if it's easy like that one. And then connect those dots to get your line. So we have successfully solved it by graphing. The only thing we had to do.
Students that are waiting for the bus for CACC, the bus is outside. Please report to your bus. CAC students, please report to your bus.
Sorry about that. So the one thing you have to do now is just write the coordinates of where it intersects. So I like to think of each line as a separate road. And so where 2 roads cross is called an intersection. So you cross a road at an intersection. So right there is your intersection. The x coordinate of that point, you can come down and see the x is 2. The y coordinate of that point is 1. So if you write it as a coordinate, it's going to be 2, 1. So that's your solution. Okay? I want you to pause the video and try the next one. I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Using the same method, I'm going to go a little faster on these ones because I explained it on number 1. So if you need it re-explained, watch number 1. So for this one, the slope is going to be 1, and the y-intercept is 4. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to do this one in blue this time. So start at 4, and then it's up 1 over 1 from that point. And get that line drawn. All right, the next line I'm going to do, let's say, purple. So it looks like it's in the wrong order, so I have to rewrite it. So remember, you need it in y equals mx plus b. This is y equals b plus mx. That's the wrong order. So I'm going to rewrite it as y equals x plus 4. Switch the order. So you start with your y-intercept, which is 4. And then your slope is up 1 over 1. And so you'll notice about those 2 lines, they're exactly the same line. So if that is the case, they don't just have one solution, they have infinitely many solutions, or all solutions, okay? Every single point of each of those lines is shared with each other. So each and every point is an answer. So it has all solutions. It's the same exact line. Okay, on to the next one. The slope is 2. The y-intercept is -1. So I'm going to always start with the y-intercept, not the slope. And 2, remember, you got to change it to a fraction. So it's rise over run. You're going to go up 2 because it's positive to the right 1. So up 2, right 1. Keep going and then connect those dots. Boom. Same story with this one. The slope in front of that x is 1. The y-intercept, -1. So you're going to start at the same y-intercept, which is -1, and then your slope is up 1 over 1. So you see it kind of looked like it wanted to be the same line, but it's not because it doesn't have the same slope. So remember, the intersection of the two lines is the answer. So right here, the x-coordinate of that is right in the middle of the graph. So it's 0. And the y-coordinate, remember, we went down 1 from the middle. So it's -1. So that's your solution of that graph. So that's how you graph them and figure out the solutions. For 4, 5, and 6, it's already graphing it for us. So these ones should be a little easier. For number 4, they give us 2 lines and the equations for each of the lines. They want us to figure out, does it have one solution? And if it does, to tell it what the solution is. Does it have infinitely many solutions or all solutions? And does it have no solutions at all? So the first one, since they're 2 lines that do not touch, it has no solutions. The system has no solutions. It's like railroad tracks, they'll never ever touch. Okay? Number 5, it looks like we only have one line here, but if you look, they gave us 2 different equations. Line 1, line 2. So I could assume that there's 2 lines right on top of each other. So if we remember back to this one, that means that it is all solutions, or infinitely many solutions. So it's the same line, so it has infinitely many solutions. And then this one over here, you can see, I always like to think of it as 2 roads. Your roads have one intersection right here. So it has exactly one solution, and that solution, you have to figure out the coordinates. So the x-coordinate of that point is 0, because it didn't go left and it didn't go right. So it's at 0, but it did go up 1 space. So the y-coordinate of that dot is 1. So that would be what you put in that solution. Those are the types of problems that you're going to see on your assignment today. Also, make sure you get the day 1 assignment in as well. And pause the video, rewind if you need to see anything re-explained.